Hi, boys and girls. This is going to be a summary of our previous two sessions in preparation for our next one. So when I finished the previous session, I spoke to you about the average people in France and that they carried the burden of the royalty and the nobility. So the rich people and the church were riding on the backs of the poor people, and eventually the poor people or the average people rebelled. That was called the French Revolution. They fought against the rich and against the church. We spoke about Herzl. I told you that Herzl was not the nicest guy, that when the newspaper for which he worked sent him to France to cover the Dreyfus trial, he didn't even bother going home to his wife and his children to say goodbye. He just went off to France. Many people thought that when Herzl saw what happened at the trial, that's when he began to dream of a Jewish homeland, of creating a Jewish country. And I said to you, it's not so. And what I'd like to do today is share with you three things that drove Herzl, that pushed Herzl to begin to create Medina Yehudit, a Jewish state, a Jewish homeland. First, the most cultured city in the world was the city of Vienna, the capital of Austria. And Herzl had a brilliant eye for the future and a mind that enabled him to analyze, what does this mean for the future? And he saw that in Vienna there was a man looking to be elected, running for mayor of Vienna, and his name was Luger. Luger was an anti-Semite. Luger was speaking about cleaning Vienna from Jews. And Herzl understood what Luger said was dangerous for the future of the Jews in Austria. Austria was his country. No, he wasn't born there, but he grew up there. He went to school there. And here Luger is elected mayor. And Herzl said, this ain't good. We have to find another place for Jews because what happened elsewhere will happen in Vienna. Then Herzl found out that a brilliant man, a philosopher, a thinker by the name of Düring, a German scholar, came out with a new theory. It's called in Hebrew Torat Hageza, the theory of race. And he felt that the German race was a superior race and there was an inferior race. And guess which was the inferior race? Yes, Jews. Herzl understood this is really dangerous, because if somebody says, I want everybody to be Christian, and if a Jew does no longer wants to be Jewish, he could change and be a Christian. But you can't change your race. You can't change the shape of your face. You can't change the shape of your eyes, your nose. If I am born to Oriental, Chinese, Japanese, I'll never look like I come from Paris. So Herzl realized that some things would be changeable. But if now we're talking the Jews are a different race, that's not changeable. So Herzl realized that this is really dangerous. If Luger was dangerous, Düring was even more dangerous. Then there was a third thing that happened, and that was Igud HaStudentim, the student association. Herzl graduated the University of Vienna as a doctor. and he belonged to a student organization which was called at the time a fraternity, a brotherhood. It was called Albia. And Albia was a student organization that all of a sudden, after they heard from Luger and Düring, they passed a rule. They changed the rules of the student organization, and they said, from now on, Jews may not belong. And Herzl said, in that case, I quit. And they said to him, no, we don't mean Jews like you. We mean those other guys. And Herzl said, you don't get it. We are the same people. Those other guys are my brothers. If they can't belong here, I can't belong here, and I quit. So these were the three factors: Albia, the student organization, the thinker who spoke about race, and the mayor of Vienna, Luger. We now have three factors that drive Herzl to begin to think about a Jewish country. Then we spoke about nationalism and nature, and all of you did a great job identifying for me what makes up a nation. You spoke what makes up a country. You spoke about language. You spoke about culture, Safa and Tarbut. You spoke about Historia, and you spoke about religion. That was brilliant. So those were the things that made up a nation. And we agreed that if Italy belongs to Italians, and if France belongs to Frenchmen, and Romania belongs to Romanians, and England belongs to Englishmen, then where do Jews belong? And the Jews had no country. So people were saying to them, you're nobody. You don't belong anywhere. So there was another push of Herzl to begin to talk about nationalism, to create a nation, and a nation needed a country. And how Herzl moves from those elements, Luger, Düring, Albia, and the elements of nation building into a Jewish state is what we're going to see in the next few lessons. Thank you for listening. See you in class on Thursday.